Hello, my name is David Deaton. I'm going to teach you some of the tournament techniques that I have derived from the Wado-Ryu Karate Do system that helped me become a national champion. These techniques are geared toward American tournament karate. Please be cautious and wear the proper equipment when practicing these techniques. In our first technique, you're going to notice I'm going to use some fakes and feints here to get a reaction from my opponent. And in this case, I'm getting no reaction at all. He's not bringing his lead hand up to block, or he doesn't give me an indication he's going to be counterattacking. So I want to go forward with my back fist to the side of the head. So you start this off by faking and feinting. See what your partner's going to do. Here again slowly. Fake, nothing happens. Fake, nothing happens. That tells me I can go ahead with my main technique, which is that back fist. Faking and feinting, getting a reaction. If you get none, then you can hit him with the very first thing that you want to attack with. In this case, it's a back fist. Now, once again, responding to how the attacker or how the opponent reacts to me, I throw the back fist. He brings his hand up to block it. That creates an opening under his arm for the reverse punch. Fake, he brings the hand up. You notice he has the opportunity to block your initial technique. He's reacting to it. He brings his arm up, creates an opening, reverse punch in the open area. The theory here is create the opening that you want to hit. And here I've created the opening to the body through a simple faking with the back fist, bringing his arms up. But I have to pay real good attention to how my opponent is going to react to what I'm doing. And then it gives me the openings to attack. In our third sparring situation, I'm starting off by faking. He is blocking both my first and second technique, so I have to have a third. So I'm going to go to that part of the body that is open. He blocks the first, blocks the second, and that leaves the opposite side of his head open for the ridge hand attack. He blocks the first two techniques, leaving an opening for the third. So this is a multiple combination that we've built up to. Initially utilizing the back fist, then the reverse punch behind that. If he blocks both of those, then we have the third technique right behind it, a circular movement, which is the ridge hand. Utilizing that same theory, get the hands down by the kicking combination, creating an opening to the head. Before, with our back fist, we were creating openings to the lower part of the body. Now, we're going to use our low attacking movements to create openings to the upper part of the body. So we're going to have a side kick, back fist combination here. If you hit somebody in the body a couple of times with that side kick, they're going to want to bring their hands down to block. When they do, leaves their head wide open for that fast, snapping back fist. Okay, now let's put a combination of three things together here, much like in our punching combination. We're going to side kick low. He's going to bring his hand down, but he's going to bring it up to block that back fist this time, and we have to come under to the next opening with the reverse punch. Side kick into the body, brings the hands down, he brings it up, blocks the back fist, but he can't bring it back down quick enough to get that reverse punch. Now here's a multiple combination of four things. Side kick to the body, back fist, reverse punch, then that ridge hand. So in case this attacker is very adept to blocking techniques, then you've got a fourth thing you can rely on. It's almost impossible to block a multiple combination of four things. Too many things happening too fast for the mind to get a hold of all this information and decipher it and then tell the body what to do. Full speed. Once again, slowly, side kick into the body, getting initial response, then the back fist, then the reverse punch, then the ridge hand. In our previous combinations, we followed up our kicking techniques with punching techniques. Now this time, we're going to utilize our kicking ability here. We're going to kick low with a side kick, then we're going to bring that kick up into a round kick, utilizing the idea that when we throw our side kick, they're going to bring their hand down and create an opening. And in this case, it's to the right side of the face. He's dropping his right hand to block that side kick. That leaves that opening. Watch closely. Side kick in, he drops his hand, creating the opening to the head. Remember, the theory here is to create the opening. Kick low, creating a high opening to the head. Side kick to the body, round kick to the face. Now you can use a double side kick there if you like to. Low side kick, then high side kick. Either way, the idea is get that hand down to create the opening to the head. That was a double round kick series. That was a low round kick, then a high round kick. That was a side kick, round kick combination. If an attacker is a forward-moving fighter, you want to stop him with that side kick and hit him initially with the side kick, and then go with the other combinations off of that. It's going to freeze him in his tracks for a second. In this sparring technique, you'll notice that he's covering the right side of his head easily with his left hand. So my opening here is going to be the opposite side of the head. So I have to change my second kick from a round kick to a hook kick. It's just a matter of practicing the varying kicks that we have and then incorporating them according to the reaction you get from your initial attack. So here you change easily into a hook kick and hit to the opposite side of the head. Through practice and repetition, you'll be able to gain this ability. Therefore, you'll have multiple combinations that you could use and apply to any situation. Combining the kicking and punching combinations, do the double round kick, back fist reverse punch. Kick low, kick high, both are blocked. So you come in with your hand techniques after you get close. Strike with the back fist to the head, reverse punch to the body. Here again, this is a 4-series attack. It's very hard to defend against all this. 2 kicks, 2 punches. Things coming from different angles. As you'll notice, the first kick is going to be low. The second kick is going to be high. The first punch is high, and then back low. So we're coming at the attacker from several different heights and angles. It's just hard to catch up to all of that. Confuses the opponent and freezes him for a second, and then he's vulnerable for you to just take open shots at his open targets. Kicking low, kicking high, punching low. Multiple series of 4. Most opponents can handle 1. They can handle 2 techniques. When you get up to 3 and 4, it's almost impossible. Here again at full speed. Okay, we're going to use a multiple kicking combination here. Round kick low, round kick high with a spinning side kick to the body. Now, the first technique is low, second is high, and the third is low. So here again, we're going to vary the heights and not go to the same target every time. That creates confusion with your opponent. You're going to do a low kick, a high kick, and then a spinning kick. Now notice you're varying your heights here. Low, then high, then spin for the low kick again. Now that's a straight line kick on the last kick. That spinning kick is a straight line. Now let's practice some defensive sparring techniques. The attacker is going to step forward and try to attack you with their back fist. By utilizing good timing, when he starts his attack, you're going to deflect that punch and reverse punch at the same instant. So you're doing a block punch combination at the same time. This takes very good timing to accomplish. Got to concentrate and make sure that that is the technique that your attacker is going to initially use. Because when you've committed here, you're sort of vulnerable. Relaxing. When he makes his attack, go ahead and attack the attacker with a deflecting movement upward with your lead arm and a reverse punch with that backhand, because he's creating an opening by sticking his arm out there. If the attacker steps up to attack you with a lead leg kick, slip sideways, counter to the body, overhand to the head, especially if he has his hands down. Now this is appropriate in this situation because when he does his kick, he drops his lead hand. So he's wide open for the second counterattack. Slipping inside the kick, stepping sideways. In essence, here again, you are attacking the attacker's attack. You're not running from it. You're slipping sideways and hitting the attacker. You're not necessarily blocking. You're dodging and striking. Dodging, striking. The success of this type of technique, counter technique, is your timing and your ability to concentrate. Perfect concentration. When he attacks, you slip in, punch to the body, strike to the head, so you're hitting him twice. If this is done properly, that attacker will never see these attacks hitting him. Attacker steps forward. You've got perfect distance. You know he's going to try to hit you with either hand with a running technique. You're going to slip back easily, lifting your front leg, stopping his attack with your side kick. Be careful when practicing this because the attacker comes in with a lot of force and that side kick goes out. It's like a head-on collision. There's a lot of damage involved in that point. When he steps forward, pick that leg up, stop his forward motion with a stiff side kick. Now we're going to do a defensive spinning side kick. The attacker starts running at you with either hand technique. Step back, spin, and kick. That spinning kick is very strong. Creates a lot of torque to the body. Throws that leg out there with a lot of speed, and when you got a lot of speed, you got power. Defensive spinning side kick. Very powerful technique. Needs to be well timed and well placed to get the maximum results as that. Now we're going to change our angle of our defensive kick. This time it's going to be a circular action. The attacker advances in, you step easily sideways and then hook in a circular fashion to the side of the head that's open. In this case, it's the left side of my opponent's head. He lunges in, I dodge, step off his line of attack, lift my leg and hit with the heel of the foot to the side of the head. So we're not so much blocking here, we're dodging and attacking the attacker. This is another timing defensive technique. When they move forward, extend their arm, there's got to be an opening high or low. In this case, we're going to attack to the head. So all we're doing is a flicking back fist to the face. When the attacker sticks his arm out for his initial attack and he's pulling that arm back, that head is wide open because he's dropping his hands just a little bit. As I've been sparring with him and noticed that, I notice his head is wide opening. So I'm going to hit that open area. Whenever you see movement from the attack, you go into motion. Same exact instant. Once again, full speed. Attacker's trying to back this reverse punch. I'm hitting him in between his techniques. So like I said, this takes concentration and expert timing because I've got to get my hand out and back and cover my ribs before he hits me. So notice again, hitting the attacker between his techniques, right there. This should nullify the second technique he's throwing, if I have enough force with that first one. The attacker in this situation is going to try to kick with his lead leg. I'm going to alter his balance by hitting that lead leg somehow or the other. In this case, it's a sweeping action outward, which should alter his balance, drop his hands a little bit so he can recover his balance, and then that leaves some openings for the counterattack. So I'm knocking the leg outward and striking back with a circular ridge hand motion to the side of the head. When his body drops, he's dropping right into that technique, which compounds its effect. Altering the balance by hitting the kicking leg and then counterattacking. Now we're going to use a sweeping action. Distracting the attackers upward with our initial attack. We're going to go low, take his leg out from under him, and then punch it as he falls to the ground. First technique is to set up the foot sweep. It's the only purpose for it. It may hit, then it may not. That's immaterial. I'm trying to get the attacker's attention upward so I can execute the low technique to the foot. The whole purpose in this technique is to do the sweep. So I've got to distract the attacker so he will not pay attention to what I'm going to do to the lower part of his body. So I punch up and sweep low. Punching up, sweeping the leg out, and as he falls, executing a reverse punch. All right, through faking, we're going to try to create another opening here. The attack initially comes from the backside this time instead of the front hand. So we're going to try a lunge reverse punch high to create an opening for the second technique, which in this case is going to be a reverse punch low. Remember, we're not going to go to the same target. We're going to go high-low in this case. High punch, low punch. If we hit with the first technique, it is a power technique, so it would immediately freeze the attacker or the opponent. But in this case, we're using it as a fake. We miss, but we hit with a second technique because we've created that opening. Watch again slowly. Through faking and fading, initiate the reverse punch to get a reaction up. He brings his hand up, creating that opening to the body, of which we follow through with our left reverse punch. Basic fighting strategies. Create that opening, and then have the tools to attack the opening. Have the versatility to change from a back fist to a reverse punch, from a hook kick to a round kick, to a side kick to a spinning kick. That takes constant, consistent repetition and practice. To develop an arsenal of techniques, repetition is the key. Slowly again. Reverse punch high to create an opening low. Once again at full speed. Now when you practice these techniques on a repetitious basis, these techniques will flow right behind the other in rapid succession. Therefore, they'll be hard to block and hard to counter. In this sparring technique, we're going to freeze our opponent with a low kick, faking a sweep, and then creating the opening to the body for that reverse punch. Once we kick or touch that lower leg, it freezes our partner just for a second. He thinks he's being hit, or he thinks another takedown is occurring. When that happens, he's wide open for the reverse punch to the body. He's not thinking about guarding anymore. He's thinking about being hit or being swept. His mind is distracted. You're going to utilize a little slipping action for the kick here. It's kind of different than a shuffle motion. So we pick our lead leg up and start kicking and drag our back leg up under us. This gets us to the target real fast. It's not very powerful, but it gets us there quick. When we put our foot down, then we're going to deliver that powerful reverse punch. As you notice, my partner here, an opponent here, has a chest protector that helps defray the power of the punches. And in your practice, I would suggest that you use the proper safety equipment for yourself and for whoever you're practicing with. Again, kicking low, punching body. Here again, we're utilizing the theory of two different heights of attack, creating a diversion, and then executing the actual technique we want to offer. You don't want to pause any between the first and second technique. If you do, you're going to lose your advantage of surprise here. If one is done right behind the other, it's hard to block, and therefore it's going to be hard to counter. One right behind the other.
Thank you for watching my videotape series on Wado-Ryu Karate-Do. If you will make this part of your lifestyle, not only will you be able to protect yourself in a self-defense situation, but you'll see that your cardiovascular conditioning, your concentration, and your overall attitude will improve. And it will lead you to a Wano Michi, which is a way of peace and harmony. Good luck in your training.